Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Today is the weekend, so let's do the whole doggone thing. Saturday, December 10th, Dewey Decimal System Day, Human Rights Day, National Lager Day, and Nobel Prize Day. Sunday, December 11th, National Stretching Day. Let's just stretch for a second. Oh, yeah, that's good. National App Day and National Noodle Ring Day. All of those things happening this weekend. And I have a guest joining me as well. We'll be visiting with Sandra Brown. She is a police officer, maybe former police officer. I think she might have retired now. But she was one of the police officers on the scene of a thing back in the 90s, the Tetris Murders.
Okay.
And I remember hearing about this, but I didn't know all the details about it. Well, there's a new documentary, like a 3-part documentary. I watched the whole first episode. It's really interesting. So we're going to learn more about that coming up in a bit. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.
In good times and not so good times, it's a good idea to be responsible when it comes to spending. At BetterCreditCards.com, we're excited to see our friends like you get a better credit card to fit your needs. Some people like cards with the lowest possible interest rate. Others like cards with no annual fee. And some people like cards with points and perks to take advantage of all the extras available. Whatever you're looking for, we hope you find it at BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Well, some people complain about the Christmas creep, where it seems like stores start selling holiday decorations earlier and earlier and earlier. According to a survey, half of us, 54%, wish the holiday season lasted longer. A one poll survey talked to 2,000 adults in the United States of America about how they spend their time during the holidays. 52% said they try to fit in as many festive activities as possible. Most said up to 2 more weeks would be nice. What do you think of that?
I would love more time at Christmas, yeah.
If you can believe it, 41% said they wouldn't mind if the holiday went even longer than 2 more weeks. 44% of respondents said it starts feeling like the holiday season to them in November. 35% said they start to get the excitement for the holidays as early as September and October.
I love it so much.
Yeah. Heidi puts, well, we didn't this year, but usually puts up our Christmas tree on November 1st.
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah. I've hidden it. She still doesn't know where it is. So. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
How much do you pay for your wireless phone? Some people spend hundreds of dollars every month for their family. That's crazy! Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. Not 50, 15, 1-5. Yeah, $15 a month for premium wireless. It's time for a Mintervention from Mint Mobile. You can keep your same phone number. You may even be able to keep your same phone. Find out now at Mintervention.com. Learn more and sign up today at Mintervention.com. Premium wireless for just $15 a month at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by RadioTravelGroup.com. Heidi, did you know Goblin Mode has been chosen as the 2022 Oxford Word of the Year? I've never even heard of it. Have you?
I've not heard that phrase at all.
Goblin Mode refers to a type of behavior which is unapologetically self-indulgent, lazy, slovenly, or greedy, typically in a way that rejects social norms or expectations. It's the first word of the year to have been decided by public vote. Givers of 3 different words. No, I'm sorry, given a choice of 3 different words. That makes more sense. Narrowed down by lexiconographers from Oxford University Press. This story's very smart, and I'm not. They had 340,000 English speakers around the world vote, making Metaverse the second choice, followed by I Stand With, hashtag I Stand With. Goblin Mode scored 93% of the votes, by the way.
I've never heard that
How is
phrase.
it neither of us have ever heard of the word of the year? We clearly need to get out more. We don't know everything, clearly, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. I got not one but 2 stories about Harry and Meghan. You ever heard of them? Who are those people?
I don't know. I think they kind of like to be off the radar.
Okay, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle first met on social media in their Netflix docuseries Harry and Meghan, which was released recently. They explained how the relationship came in the summer of 2016. He said, I was scrolling through my feed, and one of my friends said someone who was a friend of hers had a video of the two of them, like a Snapchat, and I was like, who is that? So anyway, that's how they met. Do you remember when
so
they
great.
wanted to stay out of the spotlight and they're like, I wish people would quit prying
It's
into our
just
lives.
so
And now they put out a docuseries, which, by the way, second story, has been criticized for using footage that was in a misleading way. Trailers show some archive clips where they were talking about being, oh, we were just being hounded by the media. These were events that they weren't even a part of. So they were not even a part of these events, and the stock footage that they used to tell the story about how much they've been hounded was not even them. I kind of think they like to be hounded, by the way.
Yeah.
That's why you put out a docuseries. Just saying. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by channelsurfertv.com.
In good times and not so good times, it's a good idea to be responsible when it comes to spending. At bettercreditcards.com, we're excited to see our friends like you get a better credit card to fit your needs. Some people like cards with the lowest possible interest rate. Others like cards with no annual fee. And some people like cards with points and perks to take advantage of all the extras available. Whatever you're looking for, we hope you find it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. Heidi, have you heard the phrase, good fences make good neighbors?
Yes, I have.
It's a quote that's been around a long, long time. Actually, I checked into this maybe 10 years ago. I remember thinking, who said that? Because I heard it attributed to somebody, and I didn't think that could be right. And I looked it up, and it's attributed to like 5 different people. One of them was Benjamin Franklin, but there were also several others who might have said it before him. And of course, many of us have said it after. But either way, good fences make good neighbors. But that does not help if these neighbors are noisy. And that's a shame. According to a new study, noisy neighbors don't just affect your quality of life. Their noise is more annoying than any other nuisance that you have in your life. And it might even give you heart disease, according to a new study. Isn't that weird?
That is very weird.
Marcus Mueller-Trappett from the National Research Council of Canada conducted sound experiments and discovered that impact sounds made by noisy neighbors, things like stomping feet and dropping objects on the floor, so this would be like maybe in an apartment there, these things are more annoying than the more general and continuous sounds like a TV from next door or loud speech from next door. The company notes that long-term exposure to unwanted sounds could potentially trigger cardiovascular problems and sleep disturbances. Now, I could see that.
That's kind of common sense.
I could see the sleep disturbances thing. It's a bit of a stretch for me to figure out the other one. Unless your heart is racing all the time because you're so angry.
If you're so upset.
If it's that, maybe you move? I don't know. It says, with the increased population density of some urban areas over the last few decades, and with the rise in working from home recently, researchers believe this topic is more relevant now than it ever has been before. And I think that probably would be more for people who live in an apartment, but not only, because I remember we lived at a place where we had a dude who would mow his lawn at like 6:01 a.m. And I'm like, come on, man, what are you doing? Why so early? He was a nice dude. Love the guy. Great guy. But I'm like, could you mow your lawn like maybe an hour or two later? That'd be great. Scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com.
How much do you pay for your wireless phone? Some people spend hundreds of dollars every month for their family. That's crazy! Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. Not 50, 15, 1-5. Yeah, $15 a month for premium wireless. It's time for a Mintervention from Mint Mobile. You can keep your same phone number. You may even be able to keep your same phone. Find out now at Mintervention.com. Learn more and sign up today at Mintervention.com. Premium wireless for just $15 a month at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Our guest is Sandra Brown, and we're going to talk about a new docuseries that's out right now called the Tetris Murders. Now, I remember watching a thing where it talked about Tetris, the video game is from Russia, and I remember in the news a long time ago about some people who died who were tied to this. But Sandra, you were actually one of the police officers like on the scene that day, right?
Yes. So this happened in 1998. I was an investigator at the time, but dual duties, I was also a crime scene investigator. And so, yes, I was on scene that particular day when the bodies were discovered. Well,
you guys have done a great job laying this out. I had a chance to watch the first of the 3-part docuseries, and it's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating, and I can't wait to see the rest.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm sure there's some folks out there that are probably a little confused that maybe don't know exactly what happened, but that's what the docuseries is going to teach us. So let's kind of lay out for everybody what happened and what we're going to learn with this docuseries.
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, let's introduce you to the family. Vladimir Pakilko and his wife, Elena, and his son, Peter. They came from Russia to America. They settled in Palo Alto. Palo Alto resides 45 miles south of San Francisco, and it is the gateway to Silicon Valley. So they came to the right city. Vladimir Pahilko was one of the developers for the Tetris game. And when we got this call back in 1998, he had allegedly killed his family. I remember coming into that house back then. Something was odd about the scene, and it did not settle with me that he had committed suicide. The blood wasn't right. The way he was left holding the knife wasn't right. And something that we've discovered 24 years later has led me to believe that some of us that believe that he didn't kill himself. Something that happened more recently tells us that we may have been right.
Absolutely.
That's what this 3-part series is about, and I'm excited. Sad for the family, but I think we might be able to find some peace for them and the community. And there's this whole conspiracy that came out back in 1998 that I would love to share with you.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay. So when we were doing the investigation, this family was from Russia. They were Jewish. They settled in a community that had a lot of Jewish families in it. When this occurred, some of the people said, there's no way this man killed his family. Didn't happen. Sorry. Didn't happen that way, right? And we were like, okay. They said there was a clue. This family was killed with a hammer and a knife, and the old Soviet Union flag. The mob used to use this hint that they had struck the hammer and the sickle. And so we took that down as a Russian conspiracy theory back then. I mean, we wrote it in, we listened to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I got to be honest with you, John. When I sat down to do this docu-series with the producing company and then with the ID channel, I was reading part of the report, and something I saw in that report blew me out. So I'm going to give you a spoiler. The producer asked me to go to this particular page in our report. Now, I haven't seen this report in over 20 years. When I went to this particular page, I looked at her and I said, wait a minute, are we on camera right now? We're rolling? Because I saw a subpoena that was issued the day after we received the case, and we were still working on it. A subpoena issued from the FBI on the 24th of September 1998, and it was from the San Francisco unit of the FBI, Russian racketeering. I didn't know that back 24 years ago. And so now I go back to what the community was saying, and I don't think this man killed himself. I think there's more to the story that we didn't know 24 years ago. And that's basically what I'm going to say right now, because it all comes out in this 3-part series, the ID channel. It's also going to stream on Discovery Plus. And I am really excited about people to take this path with us as we go through this, because it's jaw-dropping.
Absolutely. And the nice thing is, I think that you're going to be able to clear the name of this person who is listed right now as murdering some people and then committing suicide. And I think maybe you're going to be able to clear the name, and folks will know that he was murdered too.
I'm hoping we can clear his name, but mostly I'm hoping we can bring peace to the souls in that house, because I spoke to that little boy back on that first night, because I could feel him, and I was like literally and truly saying out loud in the house, Peter, I'm sorry for what happened to you. I know you're confused. You don't understand, but we're going to fix this. We're going to figure this all out. And we couldn't figure it out for 24 years. When I found out what I found out during this investigation, reopening it again and in this docuseries, I'm hoping we can bring peace to that little boy.
Absolutely.
From 24 years ago.
Sandra, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, John.
Again, Sandra Brown has been our guest. The Tetris Murders. I've got a link to all of the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
In good times and not so good times, it's a good idea to be responsible when it comes to spending. At bettercreditcards.com, we're excited to see our friends like you get a better credit card to fit your needs. Some people like cards with the lowest possible interest rate. Others like cards with no annual fee. And some people like cards with points and perks to take advantage of all the extras available. Whatever you're looking for, we hope you find it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Lemons contain more sugar than strawberries.
Really? I
Yeah.
would have
Nor would I.
never thought that.
Yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The average woman has 17 square feet of skin, but when they're pregnant, it's 18 and a half square feet. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Fun fact for you,
That's
Heidi.
a bizarre
I don't
fact.
know. I don't know who came up with that. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
that, John?
Freddie Mercury and Paul McCartney used the same piano to record Bohemian Rhapsody for Hey Jude. That's cool. I bet that piano's worth some dough.
I'm sure it is.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
If it happened before the year 476 AD, it's ancient. Anything after that would be medieval. So that's cool. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The inventor of rolled toilet paper filed a patent in 1891 clearly showing the illustrations hang over, not under.
I told you.
I know, we actually had that discussion. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The words Arctic and Antarctic can be traced to the simple meaning bears and opposite the bears. Huh. I did not know that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Now we know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
How much do you pay for your wireless phone? Some people spend hundreds of dollars every month for their family. That's crazy! Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. Not 50, 15, 1-5. Yeah, $15 a month for premium wireless. It's time for a Mintervention from Mint Mobile. You can keep your same phone number. You may even be able to keep your same phone. Find out now at Mintervention.com. Learn more and sign up today at Mintervention.com. Premium wireless for just $15 a month at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. Yay! It's brought to you by Mintervention.com. Heidi, here's your question. 40% of adults say they wish they could change this about themselves. What is it? 40% of adults want to change this about themselves. You can't really change this. What is it?
The size of your feet.
No, their height.
Oh.
So, yeah, they can't. 40% of adults
40%.
want to change their height. Heidi apparently wants bigger feet. So that's interesting. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com.
In good times and not so good times, it's a good idea to be responsible when it comes to spending. At BetterCreditCards.com, we're excited to see our friends like you get a better credit card to fit your needs. Some people like cards with the lowest possible interest rate. Others like cards with no annual fee. And some people like cards with points and perks to take advantage of all the extras available. Whatever you're looking for, we hope you find it at BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. New York man who bought 300 iPhones from the Apple flagship store on Fifth Avenue in New York was robbed moments after walking out of the store. He left the store with 300 phones at 1:45 a.m. What? Does that seem weird? Must have just been like the day they went on sale. Had his purchases in a few branded Apple bags like it was no big deal. What could go wrong at 1:45 a.m. on the streets of New York City, right? Just walking to the car. Got held up, losing 125 smartphones worth about $95,000.
What was he going to do with
I
all
don't
of
know.
this?
Probably sell them. Police say the unnamed 27-year-old was a regular at the store and regularly bought high volumes of phones, which he resells through his business. Okay. Because of his buying habits, police say there is a possibility the robbers have been monitoring him. No arrests have yet been made. So all of those phones would have VIN numbers. Not, is that the right word? Not VIN numbers. Serial numbers.
Serial numbers.
So when you go to turn that phone on, you'd think there'd be an easy way to track where those phones went. I don't know. Maybe not. I have no
You
clue.
would think so.
Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Actual things said by actual people at actual libraries. And the library workers overheard these things. A patron said, "I need public records, librarian. Which ones, patron? All of them."
All of the
public records. A mom to her kids, "Be quiet, you little turds. This is a library." That might have been Heidi, actually. Patron to a reference librarian, "Is it Beavis and Butthead or Beavis ampersand Butthead?"
Oh, funny.
So, yeah, really important research, I'm sure. Another patron, "Do you have any books by the famous American author Hemingstein?" I think they meant Hemingway. Patron, "Can you help me find a book about the real meaning of Christmas? Nothing religious, though."
Wow.
Patron, "I'd like to see a photo of Jesus." Do you mean some paintings of Jesus? No, like a photo of Jesus. Student at a college library. After the librarian found a reference book the student had requested. "So can you rent these things or something?" And then our final one, a patron rolling up their shirt sleeve. "Hey, is this the herpes?"
What?
What? They asked a librarian. I don't know why. Very bizarre list. Brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
In good times and not so good times, it's a good idea to be responsible when it comes to spending. At BetterCreditCards.com, we're excited to see our friends like you get a better credit card to fit your needs. Some people like cards with the lowest possible interest rate. Others like cards with no annual fee. And some people like cards with points and perks to take advantage of all the extras available. Whatever you're looking for, we hope you find it at BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. Comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Our quote today from Rita Mae Brown. Lead me not into temptation. I can find the way myself.
Rita Mae Brown.
Yeah, that's really funny. I like that. Lead me not into temptation. I can find the way myself.
True story.
All right. Quote of the day comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of RadioTravelGroup.com. Take a listen to this. I think this is really a neat story. Every Christmas, this woman does this. She hands out hundreds of stuffed animals to seniors. This is in Philadelphia. She goes out and does this, again, for seniors who are in need of some Christmas cheer. Patricia Gallagher said Christmas tradition started in 2009. At the time, she was an empty nester and she kind of felt lonely. She got the idea in her head to call some nursing homes at random and ask if my mother and I could come and read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
Aww.
She brought some kids' stuffed animals to the nursing home with her for the seniors to hold while she read. But when they went to gather them up and take them home, nobody wanted to give up their teddy bears. They wanted to keep them. So she let them. She said it was on that day that she saw the power of a simple Christmas gift. To continue the tradition, she put on Craigslist asking for gently used stuffed animals. Her first 2 years of collecting, she got over 11,000 donated to her.
Wow.
That is pretty cool. And I think there are probably people going, I've got some stuff I would donate. Like, it's just sitting there. It's not being used. If you can do something like this. She takes all of these to senior living facilities and homes for veterans and retired nuns. Said, who would think that elderly veterans would want a stuffed animal? But they do.
Right.
Not only for comfort, but for conversation starters. Says it reminded them of when they were a kid. I remembered one man say, I never wanted to go to first grade. I wouldn't go in. My father said I wouldn't go to first grade the first day. He would take me to the zoo if I wouldn't go to the... And so,
Wow.
And you know what? He said, I saw the zoo that day.
I'd rather go to the zoo.
I would too. That is a good memory. I don't want to go to school. Let's just go to the zoo. If you want to read the story a lot better than I am, I'm skimming through it really quickly. You can see a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.